Frozy, welcome back to the channel, man. Happy to see y'all. Hopefully y'all happy to see me. We are in the midst of a 30 for 30. If you're new here, what is that? Well, first of all, if you're new here, welcome. And also, if you are new here, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you like what you see. Let's talk some birds with a Berg. Yeah. And if you're also new here, you wouldn't know my name is Rosenberg Raw, Frozenberg, Berg. And you know, I got many names. But while we're on this 30 for 30, we usually talk a lot of battle rap if you're into battle rap. But, you know, I'm also a diehard sports fan. I'm a diehard football fan, and I'm a 4 for 4 guy. And every Philadelphia sports team, especially the major teams, dictate how my week-to-week life goes as a fellow Philadelphian, a southeastern Pennsylvania, a Delaware, all of that cool shit, right? In the news well, first of all, before we get started on the birds, hit my music.
Yeah, we used to get it out the stove. Now we gon' get it out the rack. You're rocking with Frozen and bros. We're now in the zone. We need ice in the super chat. We about to kick in them doors. Like get on the floor. I wanna know where it's at. We at the table with legends. When they get to talking, I bet they don't tell you that. Hold up. Wait, don't cut me off while I'm talking my talk. Been on the ground on our way to the top, and I still keep a G in the way that I walk. Same for the way that I talk, but we don't talk much, we just stay facts. And the fact is, we like Jay Black, and we about to bring this whole game back. Now let's walk. You about to walk with Frozen. You about to walk with bros. Look at me.
All right, let's get to it. And for all the Philadelphia fans that are probably rolling through the YouTube algorithm, because this is a Philadelphia Eagles video, you see majority of my hats are Philadelphia. Oh, why he got an A's hat up there? What's up with that Hornets hat? What's up with that side? Froze is a professional battle rapper, and not only that, I'm a pay-per-view commentator for battle rap. We travel a lot of cities. We always get some local merch whenever city we're in, because we're usually out there for a bunch of days. Yes, we take our Philly merch with us, but I know a bunch of Philly fans will call it a violation. If you didn't know, I took a couple hats off the wall, because I'm like, oh no, they see this, they don't give a fuck about visiting this city or not. This gonna be a problem. I get it. I get it. And 99.9% of the time, y'all will be right. This that 0.1%. Okay, well, A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown has been the topic of the NFL the last 2 weeks. Really, they've started this shit last season, in the middle of the season, which almost broke up our beloved Super Bowl year. Now, luckily, Jalen Hurts and the crew, you know, Vic Fangio and the boys, Kellen Moore, before he went over there and started coaching that shit show and that slop of a football team in New Orleans, was able to keep it together, hold it together, and they weathered the storm, and they ended up winning the Super Bowl. But this A.J. Brown shit didn't start this year. It actually started a while back. I remember they were up in the game. I just can't remember what game it was. He was chirping at Jalen on the sideline, and they were up. And, you know, which is not out of the norm. I think sometimes as football fans, especially the media and the internet nowadays, can make things look a little bit more crazier than they actually are. But sometimes where there's smoke, there's fire. And when you are the defending champs, where you are entering the realm that the Eagles are, who have won 2 Super Bowls in the last less than 10 years, they've been to 3 in the last 8 years, you know, and they've been contenders for damn near 4 out of the last 4 years since Sirianni got here, outside of the first year. You know, that comes with a little bit of scrutiny, and Philadelphia isn't the most liked fan base nationally. So the fact that they're really, really good in the sport right now, the national media is not hesitating to throw stones or throw a little gasoline where it looks like something might be brewing in Philadelphia. With all that being said, I think A.J. Brown's behavior has been fucking disgusting. Yeah, I know he's a top 3, most likely. Top 5, probably. Top 10, no question, receiver in the NFL today. And he's a superstar for the Philadelphia Eagles. So I just want to start there. But the truth of the matter is that doesn't absolve you of a responsibility of conducting yourself as a professional. He has got off to a rough start this season, as the whole Eagles offense. The run game has been tough. The O-line's banged up. The defense has been the bright side. Damn it, do they look good? Another story for another day. The pass game is lackadaisical. The run game's bad. The offensive lineman is banged up. That's been bad. The play calling has been bad. They have been fucking money in the red zone. That has been the highlight of the Eagles offense through 4 weeks. They have been money in the red zone. Outside of the red zone offensively, it's been a head scratcher, just to put it nicely. So I can understand why anybody on the offense, especially the defense, they're on the fucking field, all these 3 and outs, could be a little frustrated through 4 weeks. Last year, when the Eagles won the Super Bowl, they were 2-2 through 4 weeks. I believe we had a bye week, if I'm not mistaken, at the week 5 mark. Nobody knew what this team was. We didn't know where the Cooper DeJean was. We didn't know what to think about Zach Bond yet. We didn't know what the fuck we were getting from Nakobe Dean at that point. There were just a lot of question marks around what was going on, sitting at 2-2. Well, the Eagles ended up winning the Super Bowl. They ended up going on a run. I think they won the next 8 to 9 games, if I'm not mistaken, before they lost again. I'd have to check. And they ended up winning the Super Bowl. So for the fans, everybody panicking. Patullo needs to go. This looks like Brian Johnson. Cool your fucking jets and calm down a little bit. Act like you've been here before. I know this is new territory where the Eagles look like they're embarking in the golden years. You know, the years that all our parents and fathers and a lot of our grandparents didn't live to see the damn Super Bowl in 2017. They didn't make it, right? And all the bad years and the Dallas Cowboy glory days they had to sit through. We didn't suffer through that if you were born in the 90s or the late 80s. You know, some of you got a little bit of Randall. Most of us born in the 90s, mid 90s, somebody got the McNabb era, which was painful. We went there 4 times in a row, didn't get it done. Another NFC championship loss a bunch of years later with the Cardinals. For all of our existence, the Eagles have been very relevant and good and knocking on the door until they ended up getting it done in 2017. So act like you fucking been here before. All right. No, the team doesn't look good sitting at 4-0, but we don't have to reference everything back to the 10-1 debacle. That makes me sick. All right. That was last year. That was 2 years ago. We bounced back with that by winning the Super Bowl. All right. Remember how you felt in week 5 last year before we ended up winning the Super Bowl, and just calm the fuck down. That's just for Eagles fans. A.J. Brown, you need to do the most calming the fuck down, though. All right, let me tell you why, how selfish he is. So first off, after the game, he put up a tweet after the Buccaneers game. And he put up a tweet basically saying, if they don't listen to you, if they don't acknowledge you, you know, shrug your shoulders and basically walk away or whatever the case may be. And it was directly after a win. It was directly after a game that he played well in. And, you know, every game, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, these guys don't have 7 catches for 155 yards and 2 tutties every week. It's just not how it happens. Now, I know AJ is struggling and the offense is struggling, but coming off of the comeback win against, and it wasn't necessarily even necessarily just a comeback. It was a special game. We wouldn't have won without AJ Brown in the second half. You know, for me, it was no reason to be frustrated like that after we beat the Buccaneers, a team that we struggled against, right? We're 19, 20 games in a row at this point now. Are we trying to repeat or not? Why is it just about your stats? There's a culture in Philadelphia that A.J. Brown seems to not be able to get in tune with, and it's winning in spite of. Sometimes it's going to be because of you. Sometimes it's going to be because of this guy. We got a lot of talent around here. But then I thought about something. I looked at the Eagles' core, and you look at most of their core, they all come from winning universities, winning in college, being on stack teams with a bunch of other pros, just at universities that are in the dance every year. Your Penn States, your Alabamas, your Georgias, and you know your LSUs. You know these big schools that winning is a culture out there. And then you think about A.J. Brown. He went to Ole Miss, which is a big school. He had major numbers at Ole Miss. Here's his college numbers at Ole Miss. So freshman season, he played 12 games. He only had 29 receptions. Didn't start at the one. Next year, played 12 games. He had 1,250 yards, 11 touchdowns. Next year, he was a junior. He played 12 games. He had 85 receptions, 1,320 yards, 6 touchdowns. Yards went up, touchdowns went up. Nevertheless, he was playing special football at Ole Miss in 2017 and 2018. 2017, Ole Miss went 6-6. 2017, they went 5-7. I'm not so sure how mad AJ was at his record in Ole Miss. He was playing well. He was getting the ball, right? He gets drafted to the Titans. Rookie season, he comes out the gate firing. 16 games, 52 receptions. He had 1,000+ yards, 8 touchdowns. Rookie season. He doubles that back the next year, which he missed 2 games, 14 games. He had 18 more receptions, 70, right? More targets too. And he also had more yards and more touchdowns with 2 less games. Big season from A.J. Brown. Third year, only plays 13 games. He's got 63 receptions, which is really good. He had 860-something yards, 5 touchdowns. He was on pace for another 1,000-yard season. But safe to say, he immediately introduced himself in the league as a upper echelon star receiver. Titans went 9-7 his first year playing there. And they were second in the division. They went to the AFC Championship game and they lost to the Chiefs. They went pretty far that year. Next year, he went 11-6, right? They got bounced in the wild card round by the Ravens. Year after that, they went 12-5. The number 1 seed in the playoffs, but they lost to the Bengals and Joe Burrow in the third year. And then he ends up becoming an Eagle. So he started to win a little bit when he got to the NFL, more than he did in college. Now, I'll pull this all together, right? He gets to Philadelphia. First year, 17 games, 88 receptions, 1,500 yards. He was just a few yards short of 1,500 yards, 11 touchdowns, right? He had more yards than every year he played as a Tennessee Titan, and he had good seasons there. Next season, he plays 17 games. 158 targets. His targets is crazy up. Look at his targets compared to when he was a Titan, right? 84, 106, 105, 145, 158, 97. I mean, shit is crazy. Another 1,400 yard, 1,456 yard season, 7 tutties, right? Mind you, he's been to a Super Bowl at this point now. Plays 13 games. 13 games, he still had 1,000 yards. He still had damn near 100 targets. He still had 67 receptions. And then this year, 4 games, been 14 receptions, 151 yards, 1 touchdown. Off to a rough start this year. A.J. Brown has been getting the ball in Philadelphia. A.J. Brown has become a superstar receiver, a budding star when he got here, and he became a superstar receiver when he got here. Right? Mind you, this is from a quarterback that can't throw the ball, allegedly. It's from a quarterback who's being carried, by the way. Right? You look at A.J. Brown numbers compared to his Titan numbers. Everything has went up. Everything is amplified. He has arrived as a superstar in this league as a Philadelphia Eagle. He has been to 2 Super Bowls. He has won a Super Bowl. He has been on 3 Super Bowl caliber teams since he's been in Philadelphia. He's currently sitting at 4-0 with the Eagles, being the second team out of 2 to be undefeated left through 4 weeks. Why are you crying? Why are you bitching? Why are you making cryptic tweets knowing the media is waiting for that, knowing that you were doing this shit last year and it became a spectacle and we weathered that storm? He speaks to the media after he puts that tweet out. He owns it. He said he's been frustrated. He wants the ball in crunch time when it's time to win the game and all that. I can understand that, right? But he owns it. And then he goes and he tweets at Seth Joyner, an Eagle legend, if you don't know. And basically, let me see if I can get this tweet up for you guys. It's a tweet and delete, by the way. Seth Joyner, the audacity of you telling someone to do their job. My stats every year backs up what I do, that I'm doing mine. How about you do your job and call out the bullshit? but you won't because they're paying you. So you have to play along and be a good boy. That's crazy. These old heads can be a trip, boy. And Seth said, don't delete what you say. Stand on it. And let's talk about it. The audacity of the truth is what we're dealing with. The team is 4-0. It's one of the best Eagles to ever play here. Seth actually spoke about him after the tweet that he put up before this tweet. And the thing Seth did was stand on what he did to Randall back in the day when he felt like he had a large hand in splitting the team up. Back then, by being vocal about some things he felt about Randall, and he just used that as how he was wrong, and he understood he was wrong, and he wasn't really coming at AJ, and it's just, you see AJ is making it about him. You can see that AJ is literally like the Iron Team guy, 4-0 off of a Super Bowl, and because you're not the reason we're winning, you have become a distraction in the locker room for a second time. I can't tell you how selfish it is. And he's almost forcing the Eagles' hand. I can think of so many people who probably would rather be in his position, his shoes. You know who sacrifices Smitty? Jalen. Lane Dickerson, bad back, bad knee. Lane Johnson, he's been banged up. There's a lot of people who sacrifice AJ. You never really get dragged in the media. Jalen takes that case for you. You guys get all the praise when we win, and when we lose, it's Jalen's fault. He can't throw the ball. You don't have to deal with that on a week-to-week because you're not getting. Schmitty never gets the numbers he deserves. Since he's been here, he hasn't got the numbers he deserves. Dallas Goedert doesn't get the numbers he deserves. You ain't start this shit until we got Zaquan, until you weren't the best player on the offense anymore. And I don't know what the Eagles can do, what they should do. It's tough right now. I don't want to overreact, but it's definitely tough. I mean, he can blow up the chance for the Eagles to become a dynasty by being selfish. Why don't you be a little bit less selfish, AJ? And why don't you become a fucking winner instead of a poor sport, a crybaby, a selfish teammate, and a cancer? I mean, I wonder what the fuck was going on in Tennessee when we got you. Why the fuck they giving us a guy in his prime who's looking like he's going to be a superstar? Maybe this is why. Your friends won't tell you, Frozy, well, I need you to clean it the fuck up. Because I don't think you want to put Philadelphia in a position where they have to choose. Like you or Jalen Hurts or something like that. Right? You're telling Seth Joyner to call out the BS, but he won't because they're paying him to be a good boy. You're being a good boy in that case too. If you look at it from the sense of, why aren't you calling it out? What BS are you talking about? Why do you keep being why you keep sending in your windows out? Why you keep being subliminal? You stand on it. Stop being a coward. Be a man about that shit. What's bothering you? Just say it. I'm not happy because I'm not leading the league and I'm not top 3 in reception yards and touchdowns and receptions, and say it. So we can, tell you how fucking selfish and corny that is and then move on. Tired of this shit, man. Super Bowl fucking defending year, undefeated through 5 weeks, and we got to deal with this. We'll see how it goes the rest of this week. We'll do once a week. We'll pull up some shit that, we can talk about with the birds, try to cover up the most current event stories, and, just stay in tune. Right now, I'm hoping that my quarterback can still focus on the fucking Broncos this Sunday because he's got a star wide receiver acting like a girl.
It's Big